And now, please would you welcome back onto the stage a couple of gentlemen you'll have seen here before the game. They're now going to give you your thoughts after the game. Former Tiger Dean Windass, former Chelsea centre-back David Lee. Right. Well, I was going to start with you first, but Dean, you look so down and miserable. Where can I start?
Listen, it wasn't very good, was it, really? I think that when you play a big lad up front, you got to get the ball to him. Costa did his job as a lone striker, and we didn't do our job, you know. And the one thing about it is too many passes sideways, too many passes backwards, 2 shots on target all day. Kept giving the ball away cheaply, you know. And when you give the ball away cheaply against people like Hazard and Willian and Costa, you're going to get punished. 2 great finishes by Chelsea, but obviously fault of our own, really. And you know, Mick will be disappointed with the performance and obviously disappointed with the result.
Having said that, it was a lot better first half-wise. It was a very bright start. We had a lot of the ball, and you know, a draw would have been a fair result up until that point.
Yeah, a lot of the ball, but not affecting the game. Not playing forward. Not, you know, you get the big centre forward up there. Well, you know, get the ball up to him and then, you know, feed off him there. You know, you're playing against David Luiz. You know, I'd love to play against him and smash him all over me. You know what I mean? Because he's one of them lads who just don't like it rough and tumble. And you know, we're not. You know, you play to their weaknesses, and we never did that. You know, you've got a big lad up front who won everything in the air when the ball did come to him. David was saying, like, David Luiz now will walk off the pitch without a sweat. You know, and Cahill, you know, they've had a cigar in the mouth all afternoon. And the one thing about it is that, you know, we've not affected the game. We've had 2 shots on target. If I would have been playing today, I'd been disappointed.
David, how did you see the game today for Chelsea, first off?
I don't think they were great, especially first half. They sort of grew into the game for me. The first 15 minutes, they sort of, you know, set their stall up. What we're going to do, we're going to have 5 at the back or 3 with the 2 wide men. But I don't think they were great. But I think that Hull caused their own problems by giving the ball away a lot, passing sideways, and didn't really play to their strengths. And like as Dean said, you know, with the Luiz and Cahill's confidence didn't look great today. But they didn't have a lot to do. They didn't really get pressurised. I mean, Hull had the chance early on in the first half, which he made a good save. But after that, they didn't really create much. And I think Chelsea cruised second half. 2 bits of quality for the 2 goals, and after that, it was like a training ground, really.
Dean just said that there wasn't a lot for Luiz and for Cahill to do today. Would you have liked to have played in a game like that today and you know, been a pretty good rock at the back and come up maybe against somebody like Dean and clatter him all about the pitch?
Well, I'm sure if I came up against him on a day like today, I'd know I was in for a game. Whereas, you know, the centre forward they've not used him, and Luiz and Cahill's really they've had no challenges. So, you know, me and Dino probably could have played centre halves in our suits today, really.
Having said all that though, today it wasn't really the best performance that Chelsea have maybe had this season. They've not been on the best run, but they've stopped that now. How do you see Chelsea progressing after today?
Well, they need to play a bit better than that if they want to progress up the league. They'll have a couple of players back after the international break, and I think they've got Leicester and Man U. So they're going to have 2 tough games, and you know, it's going to take a while for the manager to get his style of play. You see today with the play with the 3 centre-halves, I think that's what ideally he'd like to do in the long run. But it'll take time for him to get his ideals over, and vice versa, really.
Dean, fortnight off now. What does Mike say to his players in that time?
Well, there'll be a lot of internationals going away, so it's, well, in my experience, it's quite flat when all the internationals are going. I wasn't good enough to be an international, so it was quite flat for me because I wasn't good enough. But Michael just want to resolve his own situation. You know, the club needs to get sorted out who's going to take over and what. So Mike wants to know that, the supporters want to know that, I want to know that. So, you know, Mike will be trying to sort that out, and then look forward to obviously the next game against Stoke, where they're bottom of the league at the minute, and they're the teams that you've got to beat in this division. You know, because they're going to be round about you at the bottom of the league, and you know, if it's going to be a tough task against Stoke. You know, in the Premier League, it's not easy against any team. So, as you say, Michael probably looking forward to the little break and see if he can get his own job resolved.
And not easy to be up here on the stage after another home defeat, but like I say, we've played 3 big teams now at home, and potentially it gets a little bit easier now.
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to stand up here and say they were good when there wasn't. When they're good, I'll tell them that, and that's, you know, when I played, if I got criticised I wasn't good enough, I'd accept it. Do you know? And the one thing about it is when you're playing a big centre forward, you got to get the ball forward to him. And we didn't do that today. We just passed it sideways, kept giving the ball cheaply. And as you say, that 2 wonder strikes by them. Do you know? 2 keepers want to save them. So, as you say, Michael, dust the team down now. Whoever goes on international will come back and look forward to the Stoke game.
Lovely. It's great to see you again.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, firstly, club ambassador for the Tigers, Dean Windass, and our very special guest today from Arsenal, Chelsea, former Chelsea defender, David Lee. Please, another big round of applause for the boys. Thank you.